feel like I forgot some part of the pre-launch checklist. What was it? What did I forget? Paused Backblaze. Paused Dropbox. Did not put my phone on Do Not Disturb mode. That's definitely a thing that I didn't do. Closed the bathroom door. Had a snack. I think we're ready to stream. Man, I wanted to stream earlier today, but the roofers were like really going at it. I'm coming out, I think, as firmly anti-roofer. I think that's my stance I'm gonna go with. I've got that workshop tonight. Life is yours. There you are. I have that workshop tonight. I don't know that I need to do any more preparation for the workshop. I feel pretty good about it. I had a few more ideas about a couple of different kinds of agency, but probably not enough to spend a lot of time on stream. And my plan is if things go off the rails with the workshop, I've been planning. Life is yours. Where have you been? I've been planning this workshop on interactive storytelling. It's survey of 21st century storytelling. And so I've been doing kind of the lesson plan on stream for the last few days. A few other things I maybe want to amend, but I've decided if it just goes off the rails, I'm just going to start playing Stanley Parable in front of the class, or we're going to open up RenPy and make a romance novel, a visual novel on the spot. So while the roofers were roofing and I could not adequately think or stream or do anything, I did do a little bit of back-end work on the extension. So maybe let's just take a quick gander at the old diff, because I just pulled it down. Where's the right button? Oh wait, Life is yours. I need your user ID. How do I find that? Do you happen to know your Twitch user ID? It's the same thing as the same as your channel number. No, on Twitch, it's like your channel has a number, and that's also your user ID. It's like a, I don't know, 7 or 8 digit number. I can look it up if you can't find it anywhere. So I can add you, and then you can click on my face. Yeah, what are we doing? We're looking at this diff, and we will see that it is not a very complicated diff. All I did was, this is our backend. I added a clear command like we were talking about, so now you can clear whatever's going on. The broadcaster can now clear whatever's going on the client side. We get rid of the whole queuing thing because we're not using Twitch to send out messages anymore. We switched from WebSockets to Socket.io, and that was a big thing. And I mean, it was an easy thing, but it was a decision that I think was the right decision. Here's where we kind of gut out WebSocket stuff and cram in Socket.io stuff, and it's really easy. And that's kind of what we did on the back end. On the front end, on the like rendering front end, not the front end, not the Twitch front end, I tidied a few things up, switched to Socket.io, added a way to clear the sprites, but otherwise this is pretty similar to where we were yesterday. On the live config page, actually added some functionality there, which is really just the clear button. And on the video overlay, didn't do much, just messed with some URLs, I think. So my reasoning for switching to Socket.io are as follows. Socket.io is a like handy layer that sits on top of WebSockets that does a lot of convenient things for you. But one of the things two of the things really that are really convenient that it does is namespacing and rooms. And namespacing just gives you like, I don't know, I don't know how they would define it. I think of it as like a extensible generic command set, sort of. So whereas with WebSockets, you just send a packet and then you have to look at that packet and be like, what is this packet? What is it about? In this case, you have specific events that you can key to on the namespace. Probably used for other things, but that's typically what I use it for. The rooms, though, are what's essential here, because one of our big problems is we need to take in all these clicks, potentially from all these channels on Twitch, and then send them to the right broadcasters. And you know, we set up a little caching system to do that before, and we never got really very far with it, and it was going to be kind of annoying. That is a weird hash. Life is yours. It's going to be way shorter than that. Like mine, for example, is I don't know what it is. Let's see. I can look if you yeah, that seems right. Okay, that could be it. Okay, I will add you. I got to fix some of this stuff because I moved stuff around. Cool. I will add you in just a moment to the whitelist. And then it will take me a minute to push some things, and I think we can get it back up and running pretty quickly. Anyway, so we will have all these clicks come in, and previously there's this big question of like, how do we store it? Like, what are we going to do with all these millions of clicks, and how are we going to spew that out to whatever channels? I think if we use Socket.io in this special Redis adapter for the backend, we can make it pretty easy and really expandable. And so the idea is that all the clicks come in just as GET requests, which is maybe not the way to do it, but I think it's the way to do it. And then at the moment, all of those just immediately get emitted. And I think that's okay. I need to look and make sure that that is actually asynchronous. I think it's okay. I'm not entirely sure. I guess we'll find out if things catch on fire. And then separately, the individual channels, now that rendering is kind of separate, connect via WebSockets and receive the stuff sit to the right channel. I don't know if I explained that very well at all. Basically, it just means like when the client through the Twitch API, when you click on me, you on the client side, you get this is a terrible example. We should just look at the code. The diff is not the place to look at this. Not the place to look. Okay, let's get going. Who knows what will be open? I moved things. Is this where we want to be? I think it is. It is indeed. Okay, so on the client side, that was in this whole world. Like this video overlay is like literally the code that renders on everybody's browser. You'll see soon, life is yours. I think that maybe the summary is this, is that the engagement on Twitch is very chat focused. Obviously, like that's easy and it's available to everybody. So lots of weird interactive audience participation stuff is done with Twitch bots. I mean, chat bots specifically. Like I feel like chat is sort of that is like the engagement layer for Twitch, which isn't bad. I mean, that's useful. And there's cool chat bots that do cool things. I would just, maybe to summarize very quickly, I want like a more tangible kind of agency so that you can just click on my video and I can respond to that in whatever weird way I want. And initially, this was like a more focused thing, and it was just gonna like kind of render a heat map, and then like the broadcaster could be like, oh, okay, well everyone's clicking here or whatever, we could vote for something, whatever. But now I want to blow it out a little bit and have it more generic, where it's just kind of a sort of a transport layer for clicks, like a click API where clicks go in, everybody can click all over the place, but then it's up to the broadcaster, some weirdo in science and tech, to like build something to consume that data and do something crazy, or just no heat was found. I know we're out of heat. It's sad. Or we'll have some presets, and also life is yours. This is all for a contest. So there's like a $15,000 prize if you win this contest. I don't think I'll win, but maybe I'll get like an honorable mention. Who knows? Who knows? It's so hard to imagine like how much engagement this contest will have, because you got to think like the audience of people that wants to like write a Twitch extension for kicks is relatively small, but the audience that wants to do it and integrate with AWS, which was one of the requirements, is like has to be small, right? That's fine. I buy gross stuff at Whole Foods. I would redeem that at Whole Foods in a heartbeat, no problem. Okay, let's do. Is this correct? So life is yours. Yes, there are practical things like scene switching or something. I was gonna make one, maybe not today, but soon, where chat can like click on my light. Like actually move the camera a little bit, where you can click on the light switch, and when you click, I mean on the light fixture, and when chat clicks on it, it will change the light. Like the physical objects in the scene will respond to clicks, which I think will be weird and kind of like an old school FMV game. You know, I could make it, that will be, the model for that will be very simple. I'll just set up like a grid, and you can just have behaviors in the grid based on what people do. Also, I was imagining a weird horror one where my room would be pitch black, but with every click, the lights would sort of flash on and flash off. Yeah, it could lerp on and off. It could change colors. Like I've played with the API for that light. It's pretty easy. So anyway, all kinds of weird ideas. Let's say, so let me show you the current state. What am I supposed to do? This? Yes. I'm actually not sure at this moment how well any of this works, because we've definitely been messing with it. I think one thing we almost certainly need to do, and I need a good solution for making this automatic actually. Like just a good automated way to know if I'm in developer mode or not. Maybe like change the, I don't know, some query string parameter. Seizure IO. I've accidentally made some borderline seizure inducing projects, so why stop now? Okay, so this is our new clear command. Let's throw that in. This is what will actually appear on my dashboard, so I can clear the screen now whenever Draclin spams it with insanity. I'm trying to get more in the habit of trying to move more into ES6 world. Really, this was maybe even ES5's world, like more consts. I'm trying to just not use var anymore. I'm doing a bad job of it, but trying to get there. Can you send a clear? No. Maybe. Maybe. Not to the normal thing. Well, so Draclin, I mean, once we're very soon will be just you and only you. Okay. Well, what I do want to do actually, which I think could be cool about this, is all that you need to make the front end of this work, you need like very little. You don't need any special Twitch stuff. You basically just need the channel ID. And so you could build your own front end to do whatever you want on my clicks, and then just give me the URL, and I can add that URL as a layer, and then you can have whatever insanity you want. So you don't have to like filter through me anymore that way. Did the video just freeze? What just happened? My bitrate seems okay. Hello? Am I here? This thing on? Okay, yeah, you want to do it, right. Yeah, you want to DDoS me. Okay, I forgot what we were doing. We need a terminal, I think. Okay, one thing was switching this. That looks maybe correct. That looks maybe correct. I think we're okay on all this. So maybe I could, I just don't know. I don't have a terrific way to like intelligently say where things are being served from. But anyway, get push Heroku master. This will hopefully go to Heroku, and hopefully everything will just work with the new Redis stuff. We're gonna make it SSL. Well, the actual communication from the user, well, it should be like insanely secure. So from the user front end side, all goes through Amazon or through all the Twitch extension APIs. You have to like have signed tokens and everything. That part is all secure. I'm also enforcing signed tokens for things like clear messages. But the streamers should be protected as well, as long as they're just using the hosted examples. Like if they're making their own things and using the, I'm not even gonna call it an API because it's dead simple, but then, you know, it kind of be on them to be protected. But really the way I'm imagining it, like nobody's IP should ever be exposed. Okay, so we should be deployed to Heroku now. This should be an extension view looking at Heroku. And so if I open up, okay, we get Twitch Heat, although now I have to pass the channel ID. So nothing will show up because I didn't pass the channel ID, but I think I just did channel equals. Okay, so this is now working. Cool. So this is the SSL stuff. Now all working on Heroku. So if I stick this URL in my browser overlay, You are? You're looking forward to Twitch AI? You don't think it's the end of the world? Okay, so now I should be able to click here and it should just appear over the top of the stream. Excellent. Draklin should also be able to click, and let me just add Life is Yours. And then Life is Yours should also be able to click my face. I never did find a... Oh, I hate hamburger menus. Okay, I gotta add you to the extension. It'll just take a minute. If I can figure out where it is. I really don't like their developer experience. Certainly experience worse, but... Okay, comma separated list of account IDs, which should have access to this version of your extension. Users in this list are ignored by the broadcaster. Whitelist, check. The broadcaster whitelist, comma separated list of broadcaster accounts allowed to install this extension after release. If it is empty or missing, all broadcasters use. That's kind of cool that I could restrict who uses it. I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. Okay, whoa, Draklin, you did click it a few times. I looked away and I looked back and now I see the all-seeing eye of the universe. Beautiful. Let me see if my clear button works. Okay, so I'm gonna slide over in my dashboard, open the extensions panel, go to heat, accept, clear. It worked. The clear button works. That's great. So I cleared that right from the Twitch dashboard. That's pretty cool. Okay, so Life is Yours. You should be in the list now. Let me make sure I actually save that. Yeah. So if you refresh, and then you should have an extension button in the bottom center of the video. Let me just open it and show you. I'm sorry, I killed the eye. What's my name? Oh, it's not going to work because I'm not logged in. Good grief. To do it from a logged in one. Okay, there goes Draklin again. Okay, so Life is Yours. On the video now, you should have this little heat icon in the center. And if you click it and click accept, then you should be able to click on the stream. That's cool. The delay is not terrific, I have to say, even in the low latency mode. Ooh, I like it. I like the tunnel. The tunnel looks good. How's your latency feeling, Draklin? Well, Polo. I meant the latency of the clicks. Yeah, the clicks take a long time to appear. Well, we are using like the free tier of Heroku and all that jazz. When does that clap happen? I think the stream's a little behind because it seemed to lag a little bit. So yeah, the stream is not outstanding. 7 seconds. Well, you're on the other side of the universe. Life is Yours. That's all. Okay, I want to see how long it takes for a click, like from my click to appear in the browser, is very fast. So I feel like my stuff is fast. My stuff appears within. Can you do something spammy? Yes, do something spammy. Do you want me to clear it first? Okay, so I feel like my round trip of clicks is very fast. Because when I click on the video, it seems like it's less than a second latency. Yeah, the lag is always in the broadcast, which is a little annoying because I am in the low latency mode. And I haven't dropped any frames, so it's kind of surprising that I'm this far behind. Oh well, that's okay. We'll come up with ways to account for that. Like that's just a thing that has to happen on Twitch, right? Jonathan Blow is streaming right now? And I'm missing it because I'm streaming. Okay, that's okay. I like streaming more than watching streams. 2 seconds. Displaying it in the browser as on clicks. I am. They're just very subtle. Do you see the little white circle? So initially, Life is Yours, I was doing all of the rendering locally in the browser. of each viewer. The issue is there were pretty heavy restrictions on how often and how much data you can send to every user through an extension. And so we could like only send every second. So it was not a great experience. Yeah, right. Self-rendering on the front end. That's what I was doing initially. So there were major headaches of how slow it was on front end. But the bigger thing is it wouldn't be captured in the archive and wouldn't be in the VOD. So I wanted to move everything to this layer. This also lets me totally divorce the rendering from the Twitch extension. If it was on the front end, you'd only ever be able to do updates by going through the full Twitch release cycle. Whereas in this way, we can like prototype and make weird things. So maybe I'm not like in the long term against, like the front end rendering was pretty cool that I could just render whatever I wanted in your browser. But it was pretty restrictive. So for the moment, we're going to do this thing where all rendering happens server side. Now, maybe we could meet in the middle and I could make that, because I should know how much latency there is. And so I could show some little fake representation locally on the front end until the scene could catch up, basically. Maybe I should add that as a chat command, Draclin, that only you have access, or like make VIPs or moderators able to clear. Yeah, okay. Yes, excuse me. Let me push the button. I already forgot that I added a button for that. Clear. It worked. Okay, let me close this. The glow currently doesn't have a death timer. That was really, it's a super simple thing. That was really just me, in particular when I was worried about like the implications of drawing on everybody's computer. I was trying to find the fastest, most efficient way. So that was really just experimenting with Pixie.js, which is a WebGL accelerated 2D drawing tool, which was pretty cool, but it's not super robust at this moment at all. Like it's pretty dead simple. And this is just like the first demo, right? Like I want to have a whole range of weird things. Jacqueline, are you drawing? Does this work? If I turn this on? I'm going to try this again because this is my favorite thing to do. It didn't work. Oh no. Oh, is the browser's off. Wait, I'm going to clear again, okay? Sorry, forgive me. I'm clearing again. Clear. I messed up. That was my fault. I didn't have the layer turned on. Okay. Hold still. Look directly at the camera. Open my... Wait, you're doing... Oh! Is that a mustache? That's sort of unflattering. What's going on here? I like this ghost that now lives in my room. This is nice. Nobody draw anything inappropriate. Is this a scepter? Is this a chalice? Is this a constellation? It looks like Orion a little bit. I definitely need to add death to this, certainly. I like this. I like this blob. Vix! Vix! If you can give me your Twitch ID, you can click on the stream and spawn little spheres, orbs, which is the early test of our... Wait, are you drawing something for Vix? Is that a beautiful sunshine in the... Oh, look. Very nice. So, I mean, I just need to make a little tool to get user ID. I like it. That's nice. Life is yours. Is this the sun shining in the corner? Very beautiful. The live overlay is kind of annoying. Oh, the fact that the whole Twitch overlay comes up. Yeah, I don't have a solution for that. You can view in theater mode where the clipping is a little better. I mean, where it like potentially if you're in theater mode and your browser is a little narrower, the live stuff won't block the video. Theoretically. Okay. Twitch, get user ID. I just need to make a little tool to do this. Draclin, there's just, well, because you're cheating and you're drawing programmatically, but if you're actually trying to click on the stream, when you put your cursor over it and the Twitch overlay comes up, it blocks the top 100 pixels, I think, and the bottom 80 pixels, I think. Regardless of the size of the stream, I think. So it's a little hard to click. Yeah, that thing. So really the whole top 100 pixels, I think, of the stream are unresponsive. You can't actually click up there, which is kind of lame. Same thing with the lower portion. The bigger the video is, the less problematic it is. Okay. Vix, do you want to try this? I'm going to try to find your ID. You disabled it in CSS? Very good. Excellent. You people are out of control. How dare you hack Twitch like this? Okay, I could do this with Postman, I guess. I forgot how variables work in Postman. Like if I want to set a header, I already have the client ID set, but then if I want to have a URL like this and I want to have a variable in the URL, I can't remember how you do that. Is that this? Params? Oh, it's already working. Okay, so login equals, like if I put, Scott made this. Oh, that's because that's wrong. That's super wrong. Look, I'm an affiliate. Is any of this information secret? I hope not. I don't think it is. I think anybody can kind of get this. Click through the overlay. You can't, unfortunately, as far as I can tell. So let me show you a fun diagram of what it looks like, because I do not at this moment think there is a way around it. So if we look at this thing, this documentation, and then we the responsive web was a bad idea. The overlay gets a cloud point. I mean, we could do some kind of weird depth thing. I could at least do something. We could do like some weird compositing thing. I could definitely imagine some where I'm in VR, where we do some weird VR thing and people can just draw in VR or spawn things in VR or whatever, certainly. Because I could set it up. This actually doesn't work very well, unfortunately. I'm not quite sure why. Where I could have a VR scene where I'm in VR, but have a static camera, and the static camera could be what Twitch is seeing and clicking on to mess with me. Yeah, clear. Okay, yes, clear. Excuse me. I like that I'm the bot. The bot is me. Great. It's me, the bot. Hi, I'm the bot. Vix, where did you go? Did you get hypnotized? Vix got hypnotized. It happens. Yeah, so the designing, I think, might be in building. So here's the issue. Like, as you found out, probably looking at the CSS, all the video player stuff gets rendered on top, and it has, was that in this? Like, it just has a dead zone. And so I don't think I can, yeah, here, like, these are just sort of like not click safe zones. No, please, toggle between work, no problem. But I do want to add you. If you would like to try this, I would like to add you, Vix. Third-person camera in VR. Well, I would like to have both. I would like to have the third-person camera up in the sky, and then I would still have the first-person camera. What sucks is that I was trying to do that. You don't need to do anything. I think I can just look you up, and then let me see if this works. I won't dox you on stream this time, because I think Postman is doing the thing. Oh yeah, I know everything about you now. Every single thing. Login. display, it's all the same. I didn't really learn anything from this. However, I now have your ID. So I can add your ID to this thing, save changes. Okay, so Vix, if you refresh, you should now have the heat extension available to you. Down here. Like if you click heat and then do accept, then you should be able to click. The server stack is pretty responsive. Anything that moves with the hard edge would cover the dot added before that edge moves over it. I think I added you correctly. Let me double check that. You will probably have to fully refresh the page. That looks like your ID. I think I added you properly. The UI is just right in the middle of the stream. So like when you open the stream, there should be a little lightning bolt down in the center. Yeah, life is yours. So that I would maybe call a difference mat. So you would just look for pixels that change and then make a mat out of it. And then draw on top of, like, use that to like stencil out the video layer. The thing that's problematic with that's theoretically possible. The problem with that is like any cool compositing tricks would be very tricky, just because OBS doesn't let you interplay between video layers very easily, unfortunately. It kind of sucks. Maybe I could come up with a way to do that. I mean, the really easy way is just like do a green screen and do it. Maybe I could come up with some, actually I think there's like some background removal-y stuff that probably works with a difference mat. Where are my sparkles? I want more sparkles. Oops. Yeah, it's just lame. It's not ideal. You could maybe write an OBS filter. I did see some weird shader-based plugins to do shadery stuff on OBS, but well, I mean, ideally, I think I would do all the compositing in OBS and not like put the burden of that on the web at all. You know, like just have the browser draw what it wants and then do any kind of multi-layer compositing stuff. Like, for example, you know, I could put anything on this stream in front of it. No, it's got to be real time. It's got to be real time. You could also like draw it. You could also draw it. That's one problem. Actually, I wondered about that. Does I realized something. I was gonna use this to make a piano that everybody could play, or an instrument that everybody could play. But I don't think that the OBS browser supports audio, which is lame. Okay, this says browser source outputs the default audio device in Windows, so that's good. Could still do stuff in there. Yeah, you could have some custom OBS stuff. I'm trying to build, like, least common denominator is just add a browser source. So like the minimum easy idea is just show a browser. But once you have that browser, you could do whatever weird compositing tricks. You could put yourself in front of it easily, of course, if you had a green screen. The most important part is when I click, oops, like this. It's like I'm blowing a bubble. Vix, that's totally okay. I could have done it wrong. I thought that was your user ID. Maybe I didn't put enough S's. Maybe there's another Vix with fewer S's. Oh, well, so yeah, you could. Life is yours. Like, whatever source you want, really. Like, I was definitely planning on doing some stuff with Unity as the source. So you could do certainly whatever weird. Okay, how many S's is that? Is that 5 S's? It's a lot of S's. Your ID is long. That's looks like what I put in the console. Okay, I tried to add it again, but who knows if I did it correctly. Impossible to say. Okay, so I feel pretty good about the switch, you know, all the choices that we made in the last couple of days. Switching to a WebSocket solution with a separate rendering from what's going on in the extension. So all that feels good. What do we want to do today? I've only got like an hour before I need to go teach that workshop. So I do kind of want to try to get this Redis add-on going for Heroku, which really should just be a couple lines of code. There's a couple of weird gotchas, but let me kind of explain what the issue is. Okay, I'm going to clear and then Vix go to town. Okay. So, oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, get my finger. I'll try not to move. No, very good. Very nice. Beautiful coordinated effort. Very good job. Excellent. Excellent chat. You got my teeth? Oh, I like the O's and roofer. Oh, very good. These were all very good. Very good. Very good work. I mean, again, this is like the lowest hanging fruit visual demo. Hopefully we'll do much cooler things than this. Wonder how many particles. I use their particle container in Pixie.js is supposed to support thousands of particles pretty easily. They had a demo with 10,000 worms. I really like staring at this. Whatever happens, this one may just stay. Even if we make better things. Okay, so I pushed the wrong button. This is probably, did you, in a random color? Yeah, it just, when it draws here somewhere, whenever we make a new dude, we just make a random color. Chat name color? I thought about that. So right now the payload only takes, the way it works is when those clicks happen, it just calls a URL and then just passes a few parameters in the URL, which is currently only the channel ID and the X and Y of the click. I've been trying to think if I want to make that a more complicated payload. I certainly could. Now, I would say don't get too hung up with the idea of just putting dots on screen because, like, you know, we hopefully will eventually do cooler things than that. But if I was going to add more to that base payload, I would probably add the username and the color, probably. Maybe the user ID and the color. I don't know. Just a few more parameters. We still might keep it URL based just because that seems very fast and easy, I think. Let's see. The real value here is when I'm like trying to write code and I'm doing something wrong and I'm just missing something, then everybody can click. Oh no, are you writing something? Is that a B or an R? Or is it just a beautiful constellation? We should make a constellation drawer where we can just draw beautiful constellations. Something that's weird is that the Twitch their process for approving extensions, they tell you like, yeah, you just have to basically turn on a stream running that extension and leave it running until we approve it, with like no real indication of how long that is. So you apparently just have to stream 24/7 until Twitch gets around to looking at your extension, which is pretty weird. So I don't quite know what to do about that. I'll have to decide. I mean, we could just run a stream with no video that just runs the browser and then add some way to click and switch to different presets, and it would cycle every minute based on the number of votes or something like that. Would not be an unreasonable thing. Okay, so the Socket.io thing, I already explained that I like it, just in terms of the rooms, which will be our Twitch channels, and the namespaces, which will just be how we will like handle different commands like clear. So just to show you a quick example of that on the back end, whenever we get one of these clicks that comes through as an HTTP GET, first we verify that token that I mentioned, that JWT token from Twitch. And after that, we just formulate a message and then send it like this. So IO is our Socket.io instance, and 2 is how you say what room to stick everybody in. And whenever anyone joins, we stick them in a room. And remember, only in this case, only the broadcasters are joining. Users aren't joining here. Users are all handled in Twitch world. So this is only for broadcasters. And then we emit, and this is, I think namespace is the term they use, kind of the command to send. So if we send a clear command, this is what we do. We send a clear to that channel with no parameter in that case. Same thing with the message. And then on the client side, it listens. Here's where it listens for those. So it's super simple at this point. Clear. Okay, clear. Wait, Draclin says clear. Right. And currently it's a voice activated thing. It's kind of like Alexa or Siri, except it's me. Okay, I've cleared it. Oh, very nice. Keep running it. Keep running it so it gets additive. It looks better when it's additive. Clear again. Okay, fine. Sure. Maybe I should act like Siri or Alexa and just pretend not to understand anything that you say. Whoa. Are you drawing? Is that you drawing? How did that just happen? What have you done to my stream? That almost looks like it's running a little slowly. CPU usage seems okay. How many particles was that, Draclin? Do you happen to know? It just looks like very slightly chunky to me. Ooh, yeah, it's way better. 590 on the last one, so 590 on top of. Do I see what it is? Can I make it out? Is it a turtle? Is it an Egyptian eye? Oh, okay. Oh, really? So you can give it an image? Oh, really? Oh, I see. Right. It's just the way the scaling is. Very nice. That's pretty cool. So you need like an aspect ratio adjuster. Ooh, we can make that. We can make that really easily, like some kind of like particle-y thing that would sample the colors. Like if I did add color as a parameter. Should I just do that? Should I just add color as a parameter while we're at it? That's not what I was going to do, though. I was going to do something else. 45 minutes. You're ready for color as a parameter. Okay, I think we will do that. I don't know if I want to do it right this minute because I do want to try to get this Redis thing working. If I can remember how. Let's restart to update Visual Studio Code. So the purpose of the Redis server is this: is Node is like a very single threaded thing, right? Like it's just a no reload on extension is all incredible, incredible improvements, multi-line problems, incredible. I want to get better with Visual Studio Code. Maybe I'm just ready to like lean into it. I'm getting distracted. Okay, maybe we'll look at that another time. Okay, yes, right. Okay, the reason for Redis is this. So Node is like a very single thready kind of thing, right? And so when you spin up a Heroku dyno, you just have this one thread churning away. And it tries to be asynchronous, like everything in Node is asynchronous, but it's still really just one thread trying to do all the work. And the more work to do you try to do, the eventually it'll slow down and you'll start to get H12 errors, H11 errors on Heroku, like where you just can't respond quickly enough. Okay, clear? Let me clear. So the normal thing is like, okay, well, let me just slide my slider up and have 10 Heroku dynos, and then great, now I've got 10 times the compute capacity. Ooh, which image is that? Oh, good, beautiful, excellent. Yeah, now I see it. Good grief, clear. Clear, no pornography, nothing scandalous. I'm gonna have to censor you, Draclin. This is a G-rated channel. Okay, so you spin up the dynos, you have all these dynos, that's great. Problem is those dynos can't talk to each other, which is not great for something that's kind of like a chat room where you have this many-to-many scenario. Like, how are those many-to-many going to talk? Or even in this scenario, which is not many-to-many, it previously was, but now it is not. Now it's many-to-one, although that one is ambiguous because multiple people could actually have that channel page up, and multiple broadcasters could. So still in terms of audience and broadcasters, it's still potentially family classic, still potentially a many-to-many scenario. And so to account for that, we need something to do the work of letting all those dynos talk to each other. And so you want kind of some sort of memory store or cache or something that exists outside of the realm of your Node scripts that's like, hey, let me put stuff over here so everybody can look at it and know what's going on, right? And I like Redis for that. That's kind of what Redis is sort of for. It's just there to kind of just hold things in memory for you until you need them. You sent me, wait, where did you send me? Oh, on Discord. Yeah, I'm on Discord now. Oh, to just pick those colors? That's handy. Thank you. The only thing I need to decide is like where that happens. Does it happen on the client side? I just got to figure that out. It's a little weird because I don't have like that message state in this world. Like I think I will have to look up the user, but I think I can still get it because this is in like Twitch chatbot world. But remember, we're in extension world, so it'll be a little weird. But I'm pretty sure we can still find that. So. Anyway, so we've got Redis, but it can be kind of annoying to use manually. But what's cool is that there is a Redis adapter for Socket.io. Is it an adapter or middleware? I think it's an adapter. If I push the whole user. Yeah, but I don't know if I have all that in the extension, but maybe I can get it. Because again, this is like separate world from chat. Maybe I can get it. So what this Socket.io Redis adapter lets you do is when you start to emit things, you're no longer restricted to sending messages just in your own little world, in your cluster with the few people that are connected to you. It goes into Redis and then it gets spread out to the other dynos, to use the Heroku language, and then everybody can be sure to be, everybody can communicate with everybody in that scenario in a way that is still scalable. Of the user ID? Well, user ID comes as part of this token thing. Where do I get that? There's this extension helper on authorization is where I get the channel ID and the user ID. Now, presumably I could do a separate lookup to figure out the color. I'm pretty sure. Oh, wow. I didn't even see what was going on stream. Amazing. So unfortunately, like the normal user ID payload that you get, like to get info about users, does not give you the chat color, but maybe we can still figure it out. Draclin, that looks great. That's beautiful. It's so robust. I thank you for saying Scott made this and not Draclin made this, because that would have been like, you know, valid and maybe technically true, but a little disheartening. So anyway, that's the point of the Redis adapter thing. That is the thing I was going to add. I think all the other socket stuff is mostly working. Colors, pixel sizes. I know. But again, like, remember, like this draw polka dots on the screen is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just like the simple goofball example, right? Like this is not what we're here to create. Maybe we can add a little more to a basic drawing thing. Well, I don't know, but like, how am I going to add all that stuff? Like, what? I guess we can expose all those parameters. Some kind of API, even if it's not necessarily exposed in the normal client. But now that's just me like building a Draclin API. Yeah, remote desktop, no problem. How do we, yeah, absolutely. Do you want to Skype in? Let me just give you my credit card number and everything, and you can buy any new parts you might need to. What's the thing I'm on now? You mean is like, what am I trying to work on? Well, I keep trying to explain this Redis thing, and I get distracted by beautiful glowing things on the, oh, it's over here on the screen. Yeah, so Redis, great. Yeah, Redis, right. So I set up a Heroku Redis instance. At some point, we're going to have to port that over to AWS, which is just going to suck. Wait, don't look at that. I think did I almost show something secret on stream? I think I showed the first 3 letters of some very secret things. Did you see this window? Sneak over here. Yeah, don't look at that. Oh, don't look at that window. No, I want no one to see because there's actually an NDA'd project on this list. So let's get out of there. Life is yours. Well, okay, one, I do like DigitalOcean, but Heroku is way easier. Heroku is like you just slide a slider and instantly your project scales. But unfortunately, one of the biggest mandate of this contest is that you have to use AWS. So I have to deploy this on AWS. Okay, great. Yep, let me clear. I'm going to clear. Okay. My name and lights, my face and lights. So we want the Sakureo Redis adapter. And you do have to do one slightly goofy thing. It's HTTP affinity, but it's easy. Like this is all we have to do. Piece of cake, right? And then add the adapter, and we have to give it a host and a port and all that stuff. Piece of cake. Beautiful. It's like I'm holding a rainbow. How to connect SSH/FS to the correct directory on a Linux server? I mean, normally through SSH you... Oh, I don't know. That might be something about how the SSH server is configured. Can you SSH in and go wherever you want? Like just with the normal user at host :/path? Oh, that doesn't sound right. I don't off the top of my head. If you can SSH in and you're not trapped, then it seems like you should be able to be wherever you want. I'm getting boxed in here. Getting devoured by a blob. I haven't used SSH/FS for some time. Well, nuts. I never loved that stuff. I think there was a time where I was kind of into like service as a file system kind of thing, like once upon a time. And I just haven't done that in a while. Maybe because of things, I mean, stuff like Dropbox made it really easy where they just did it for you, but also stuff like Git or even rsync. I still use rsync if I want to sync things around. Oh, well, don't, I mean, I did plenty of that. I usually use Vim to just edit on the server, sure. I mean, I see what you're aiming for. Does CyberDuck give you some way to do that? I can't remember. You need physics. What kind of physics? Just to have them bounce around? It would not be trivial to have the physics respond to the video, unfortunately, because again, OBS is very limited about letting sources interact. Not impossible. Like we could do all the video in the browser also and not even have the webcam go through OBS. And then we could do whatever weird computer vision we want. Burn out and throw sparks with rainbows. Sure, we can do those things. But I just want to do this one. I want to try to get some backend stuff today because I don't have a ton of time today. Rainbows, cotton candy. Like if you look at the Pixie.js, they're pretty good. I mean, we could implement some of this stuff. Like happy little bunny bears. Cool rotating planes with awesome paint jobs. Where's a good one? They had some better ones. Oh yeah, cool snakes. Custom filters. But again, which would not interact with the video, unfortunately. I know, God, yeah, gosh, you guys. I'm gonna just draw a rainbow blob over chat so I can't see it. There's some pretty cool stuff. This is what you want, right? You just want to put me in a war zone? Instead of exploding fireworks all around me. There's a weird one with worms all over it, though. That's the one I think we really want. I'm fun. I'm fun. Yeah, the touch me buttons. A little suggestive, sure. I mean, that's my fear is like that. Yeah, you know the kinds of channels this extension could be used on, you know. That one's beautiful. What about this kind of rave? This one, this is the one that I like. 10,000 maggots is their example. Great. This is the example I based my example on, except I just made a little sphere instead of maggots. These guys look good. This guy looks great. You could like click around the screen and like leave little pieces of food, and then this guy could squirm around and eat them, right? That'd be okay. I like these little monsters. A snake where you are the food? Sure. Spin the wheels. Ooh, okay. I think some of this stuff would be way cooler if I got a green screen. Because I used to do stuff. I never tried this with live video. I don't think they even work on this anymore, unfortunately. Seriously.js does like real-time in-browser compositing. 2015 was the last update. I assume this still works. It was a cool thing. But you could do, man, I never did this. I can't remember if I ever did this with live video. I did it with just normal HTML video. I don't love the backend stuff, but you know, it's kind of important. It's sort of the most annoying part of this, so I'm trying to stretch it out a little bit. You want the orbs smaller. How did I decide that? I think we just divided by... Smaller orbs for Draklin. Dude.scale. Yeah, I took that was in the code example, I think. What? Oops. Okay, then I probably have to refresh this browser when this build finishes. Okay, that seems okay. And I was looking at my mouse in the video instead of my actual mouse, so that was cool. Okay, are those smaller orbs now? Those are smaller, right? Don't make fun of the dudes. Dude is not a normal variable name for me. That was taken from the Pixie. Why do they feel bigger? They're small. I mean, I divided them by 4. Are they big? I don't know. It almost seems like they didn't actually change. Let me like try to force the cache. Oh, actually, that's cool. There's an option that's refresh the browser when the scene becomes active. Oh, you're right. Wait, what did I do? This is what I changed. That's their scale. Oh, but then the scale, right, is always going to be... So this actually means nothing. Right, I'm not even doing anything here. Because the scale is constantly changing as we loop. So this is meaningless. We're just interpolating between... So we would want to do something like this. Because this is just the sign. And this was just about speed and having an offset based on the X and Y and all that jazz. And then here we would do... We'll do the normal thing. Plus 1 divided by 2. 0.0. Is that right? What did I miss? And now this can have a times 0.25. That looks almost like a thing that would work, right? Oh no, was there a var? Excuse me, we're done with that. We don't do that anymore. It's over. This, looks like nonsense, but I think it's maybe correct. Let's just go ahead and switch this all to local, because I'm about to do some local testing anyway. And that would mean a change of 2 URL. How am I doing on time? Okay, I've still got some time. We need to change not those, just this. And just this. App crashed. Outstanding. What did I do? Oh, wait. Okay, well, I've got multiple problems here, actually. Just realized a couple things. I do need to push this, actually, because this is the one that's going to end up on Twitch. So the change I just made, good grief, what did I actually do? Your VS Code terminal is super slow. Why is it so slow? I want to change mine to not be PowerShell. I want to change it to be Commander, but I haven't done that yet. Just haven't set this machine up for this kind of development, because I normally do like just Unity-ish stuff on this computer, so I don't have like much command line-y stuff. I generally don't do much command line-y stuff in Windows anyway. Okay, we just messed with drawing. But I can't easily test it without changing. Ugh. Okay, let me test it. Draclin, the things I do for you. Localhost 3000 question mark channel equals something. Broken, super broken. Just broken as all heck. Want bash? I have the bash that comes with Git. I think I will reinstall. I had it installed for a while and it was interesting. That Windows subsystem for Linux. Wait. Why do I see dots over the... Why did the dots go there? Oh, I didn't refresh this view. That's why. Live config. Video overlay is set to local. What's going on here? Are my clicks still going out into the world? Okay, what have I've clearly done something wrong. This is not going to the right place. Why? What am I doing? That's video overlay. This is the source for video overlay. It says URL right there. What have I done? That is what I'm doing, right? I'm doing that. I'm doing that thing on the back end in Express here. Are you talking about something different? Oh, you mean pass? Well, this is for something. I see. To get the channel through here, you mean? This is different because I need this on the front end. This is for the front end to know where to subscribe. This isn't for the back end. This is only used for the broadcaster. For the front end where you send the clicks, it happens like this. But this channel, this ID is used in front end JavaScript, not back end. That's why it's here. It's not ready, Draclin, because I've broken something and I'm not sure why. We're just not going to ever get to this Redis thing, are we? Am I like pointed to the wrong place? Oh, do I have to push that button first? Yes, I had to push one button. Okay, now we got it. Okay, so now we have tiny dots. Draclin, is that an acceptable size? Wait, turn off these dots. These are very small dots. Are you sure you want them that small? Yeah, I mean, I could. That query string parameter. I mean, I similarly don't prefer just like parameters in URLs versus in query strings. But this is not really seen by anybody. This is sort of a back-endy thing. So I'm not super worried about it. It's just in the extension panel, when you give the broadcaster the URL to go to, you give them this URL. And yeah, I could still do it and do some weird match locally. That would be fine. It'll do, I guess. Okay, yes. So yeah, I might tidy that up. I'm not super bothered by it, but I'm slightly bothered by it because I like tidy URLs for sure. But I also don't. Oh, there's still a var in there. Good heavens. Okay, we got to change that. We got to change both of these before I get in trouble. Outrageous. Yeah, but again, I mean, users should never have to deal with that, right? Yeah, there's perks, sure. Okay, what was I doing? We now need to... Oh, all this work for what? Why is that diff have all this stuff in it? I'm gonna undo that for now because I don't want to accidentally break anything. Let's just discard those. Let's only push the stuff related to dude size. Smaller dudes for Draclin. Okay. We've gone an hour and 13 minutes and I don't think I've actually done anything yet. It's right. It's true. It's not the size of the dude that counts. So I know it's true. No, it's good. I'm glad. We got Life is Yours is back. We clicked all over the place. We scared Vix away with the turtle that wasn't a turtle. $50 dots per user. Each dot is a bit. I don't even know what a bit is. How do bits work? Each dot costs 1 bit. You can do that. You can monetize anything you want in extensions, it seems. Don't be sorry. I'm just giving you a hard time. I appreciate you hanging out. How many bits per dot? Like what a bit, how much do bits cost? $10 for 1,000 bits. That's a lot of money. So 100 bits is $1.40, huh? Man, I mean, people would do that if I added that to the... Here's the thing, though. If I like monetize an extension like that, I don't know if the extension author gets a cut, you know? Like, I don't think I'd want to do that in my channel, but if some I don't even know, what word do we use for those kinds of streams? If some streamer wanted to charge money to let people click their butt or something, or like maybe the sprites are little kisses and then you could give me kisses on the cheek and I could charge you per kiss, like a kissing booth. Cam girls? That's a little strong, right? If you get a cut, I can't remember. I haven't looked very close at the monetization stuff because my eternal... Oh, Draclin, excuse me. I'm sorry, Draclin. Excuse me. I need to... Let's get the... Whew. Okay, yes, life is yours. That's a... That's one way to put it. Okay, I think it's working, Draclin. I'm not entirely sure. Let me try one dot and see. Yes, I think it worked. I need to remake Ostinato in VR. Ooh. I like the scanline draw of this. Am I dropping frames? I have dropped 0.7% of frames, so I think I'm okay. It's choppy for you. My upload seems okay, and CPU seems okay, and Twitch says my stream health is excellent. So I'm going to blame you, Life is Yours. Very nice, Draclin. Yeah, we got to make a VR ostinato. Here's what I'm thinking. So, well, you could account for the ratio. This ratio is 16:9. So you could apply a multiplier to your x-axis, right? Just get a scalar based on 16 divided by 9. Yeah, blame Chrome. It's probably Chrome. Here's what I'm thinking about ostinato. So I've been ooh, I just had another idea too. So we've been talking about making something for the Oculus Quest when it comes out, and then we got super distracted by that Sunshine Boy. That still is not finished, by the way. And I think I'm going to make something called Volume 2, even though I never finished Volume 1, that will take some of the old musical VR streams we did last year and package them up with some new stuff and just be like a package of weird VR musical things. What image would work well for this? The immediate thing that comes to mind are those images that show contrast with line thicknesses. No, Life is Yours. Almost like gosh, what would we call that? Like those portraits that are done with line thickness. What's a good example of it? None of these. I don't quite know what to call that. This one's sort of close, where there's thickness in the variation of the lines. You guys, I'm gonna turn on the bits, and Draclin, you're gonna owe me $4 million for all the dots you've drawn so far. What was I doing? We already looked at that thing. We can't look at that yet. Okay, yeah, we were looking for like socket IO Heroku Redis. Because I think there's like one thing we gotta do, this affinity thing. I thought they had an article about this. That's not extortion. That's Redis is just like a in-memory data store. It's not even. It's kind of like a NoSQL database, sort of, that only exists in memory. So it's just the idea is you can have all these little nodes, you know, cranking away doing compute stuff, but you need them to be able to talk to each other. And so Redis with this Socket IO adapter will let them all talk together. It's almost you can think of it as like sort of slow networked memory that a bunch of little instances can use to talk together. So I think I already added some of these things. So one thing we do need is this session affinity thing, and I can't forget about that. Can we just turn it on here? Will that work? Okay, that worked. You'll need a Redis server, or use a free Heroku hosted server. Yeah, this thing is the important thing. Okay, but this is super secret. Okay, yeah, nobody look. Hold on, everyone close your eyes. Hang on. You have a user ID with socket, so node network with that is what you need. Well, it's just that like when you spin up all these, like scalability for this thing, if it's like, oh, this is the most popular extension on Twitch and 1 trillion people want to use it. So it's like, great, spin up 100 little node instances all over the world. But you don't know which users are going to go to what. Like the Heroku load balancer is just going to throw people out. And so if you have all of that data that funnels in, and then the broadcaster is only connected to one of those nodes. And if your clicks are going into a node that's over here, but the broadcaster is connected to this node, how are they going to know about each other? They're like totally different processes with different memory, living in a different world. And so Redis is just going to let us have something in the back end where when all of those fragmented users send in their clicks, those will all kind of go into the back end and come back with pub sub magic, and then we'll send it out from there. Don't look at my env file. There's private things in there. Shh. Can I do a terminal at? I want to like open terminal at. Is there not a way to do that? There's probably a shortcut for that, isn't there? Anyway, you know, it's in here, then we go here, then we go over here, and we go here, we go e:, and then we go Heroku config and show all my secrets. Is that true? Is that a trick? Okay, there's our Redis URL. So we need to add all of these things. Right. So really, I think I can do this and it will actually be correct. No, 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 no. I hope that worked because I really might have screwed something up. Oh, what is it on Windows? Type? Good grief. What is the way to just dump the contents of a file on Windows? I thought it was type. It's not cat, like the equivalent. Is it type? Okay, no, it is type. Okay. So I think I now have all this stuff. I think our env file is good, and I didn't even dox myself this time. So really all we need to add is we did the session affinity stuff. So I think it's really like one line. So we need to get the Redis URL. Really need the Redis key, but sure. I actually like this syntax more than that. I want to do this instead. Scott, it's pretty bad. Oh, what did I do? Ooh, okay. What am I looking at here? I kind of like it. I'm kind of into it. Is this a mesmerizing maze? Oh, two things need to clear. Excuse me. Clear. Clear. Yeah, more. I mean, I tend to like, you know, less. Less is more. I like less more than more. Is there more on Windows? There is. I don't even know that. But there's not less. There's only more. Okay. Regenerating the maze. I like this procedural draw you've got going. It's like a dot matrix printer. Okay, so we have that stuff. I actually prefer this. What cool thing did we figure out yesterday? Control Shift L? Yes, so Control Shift L and then do that, and does it replace it everywhere? Yes, cool. I don't even know if we actually need that anymore. Okay, cool. I love CRT monitors. CRT, like early to mid 20th century technology, I feel like is way cooler than 21st century technology. Just like the whole idea of how a CRT works is kind of insane. Like it sounds like some weird sci-fi thing. I think I've ranted about this before, but like when you talk about a LED screen, oops. When you talk about an LCD, excuse me, or like some matrix-based screen, it's like, yeah, okay, great. This is just a bunch of tiny little lights, and those lights turn on, and they're in a grid. It's a piece of cake. Yeah, an electron cannon, and then you just shoot electrons, and then you mess with the electromagnetic wave to aim the electrons to draw a picture of somebody's head. Like, that's amazing. I love it. There's something soothing about this maze. So the way I did this, which was really simple, the reason I think partially why this looks cool, is I made the sign offset. I'm inside My Little Pony. I made the sign offset by the X and Y position, so it'd be almost like having a gradiated noise effect. I know you've captured me. I'm imprisoned. Okay. We added environmental variables. Draclin, is it okay if I clear? I'm gonna clear. The stream's a little out of control at the moment. Okay. Let's see. And then I think this is kind of all we have to do. We got to get the socket IO redis. We did all that here. Whose example is this? From the Node Socket IO people. Maybe I should use their syntax. So all I need to do is this, and then after we and then create the Redis adapter and do an IO oh man, I could make a really weird Pong game with this where like people could click to influence the position of the panels. It would be so slow and boring. It would be a bad way to play a game. It would be a bad way to play the game. Okay, so what did we do here? We made our Redis key has a default. We gotta tidy all this up at some point, but for now, this seems adequate. How am I doing on time? I gotta go teach soon. I don't think I actually have to do anything different. I think this is all I have to do. And it seems to be working. The problem is, like, how do you know if it's working? Because it's tricky to say. Like, we'd have to get a bunch of people and try to get them on different dynos so that we could see that they were connecting. Node harmony. What does that mean? We did the session affinity. I mean, this is irrelevant at the moment because we only have a single dyno. But if it works, then it works. It could, yeah. That's kind of how I'm thinking for like the piano. I'm imagining there's some metronome and it clicks 60 times a second, probably less. Maybe like you get whole notes or something like that. And it just is firing off, and then between the metronome ticks, everybody clicks which key they want it to play, and then it will kind of, as a vote, figure out which key people press the most and make it play music. So I think the like chat piano is maybe the next example I want to make. Oh man, I just had a weird idea. That probably would not work very well. Maybe it would. Ooh, what are we drawing? Is this Pong? Very nice. Very nice Pong game. OSU track. What is OSU? I'm an old person. What does OSU mean? Oregon State University? Oklahoma State University? Okay, I've got like 3 minutes to do this thing. But I think I just did it. I think that's kind of all we need. And we can't really effectively test this unless we like spin up a bunch of dynos. But I think it is working. Because I think it would have thrown an error. Is there a way that I can like tell if anybody's connected to the Redis? I'm going to deploy this because it seems not broken. But it might be. Wait, now do we have a maze and Pong? Very interesting. Okay, this gets a little dense. I'm gonna reset here. And then we'll see if this new ooh, my clear function's not working because the server was restarting. Uh-oh. Okay, it worked. So that's good. That makes it look like reconnects happen automatically. So that's good news. That seemed very slow. Oh no, that seemed okay. I think we introduced a little bit of latency. Draclin, would you mind, I'm going to reset, and then would you mind trying again? I want to see if the Redis stuff seems to be working. Seems like it is. It's a little hard to tell, like, utilization-wise. I don't even know if the utilization, if it's, like, real time. It looks like I'm seeing calls. Hopefully I will see a large, ridiculous spike. That looks like more calls than I would have expected, actually. What? What are all these calls? What did I break? What have I done? This looks weird. Like, what is all this utilization? Over hours. Maybe that's like some internal Heroku-y stuff. Are we back to the sun? Is this my friend the sun? I don't know. Maybe this is just some kind of like internally stuff. So maybe we actually won't see all these calls until tomorrow. I don't know what the lag is on. Well, that's 50, so maybe there's like a 10-minute lag on reporting. Well, but this is so before when he was using the bot, I was not using any of the Redis stuff. So I would not have expected to see it until now. I only have one client. That's all we need. 25 meg memory limit. That's not a flower. It looks a little bit like that. What is that eye? You know, the eye. This one. Eye of Horus. Kind of vaguely reminds me of the Eye of Horus. Horus? Okay. The Eye of Mordor, slightly different. That's the Eye of Sauron. Okay, so we did some stuff here. We kind of validated some of the socket stuff. Jacqueline graffitied me. We had 2 more testers, which was good. I'm feeling a bit more comfortable about this architecture. Like, we're getting close to the point where the back end is just going to be pretty baked. Like, we just won't need much more functionality. Like the backend, its whole job will be to turn these GET requests right here into socket.io messages and send them out. So like, especially when we get rid of all this stuff that I commented out that we don't need anymore. Like some of this stuff we still use. Verify token, I think we will still want. I don't think we'll need to generate a token anymore. Maybe we'll keep it around, but all this stuff about sending data back to Twitch, we're just not going to do. Although I have a feeling I should keep that stuff handy. Oh my gosh, I know. I'm about to go watch YouTube with a bunch of students. It's going to be great. And then I don't know how this is going to, I'm slightly nervous, Jacqueline. I'm into like, I don't know. I just don't know how it's going to go. I generally do pretty well with just get in front of some students and just talk. Yeah, I like the stripes. That works pretty well. I would like it maybe if it was like Perla noise based, but this positional based one is pretty cool. I do reasonable. You may have noticed this about me, but I do pretty well just talking for a long time. So I'm not horribly worried about that part. Okay, I am going to clear, and then I just want, yeah, okay. I think that's all for today. Thanks for hanging out. I will throw this up on YouTube because I've been doing that. I don't know if anybody's watching any of those things. Students like talkative teachers. I'm going to try to get them to talk. I don't know how it's going to go. This is my first time to give a workshop here. It could be good. It could be bad. But that's kind of the good thing about this workshop structure is if it's bad, it's only bad for 3 hours. So we can all survive that. Even if we just halfway through like totally give up. Ooh, Draclin, no. It means I'm anti the roofers making noise up there. It's fun to talk about the things which is not on track. Well, life is yours. This may come as a surprise to you, but given an audience, I am sometimes very easily diverted. I know you may find that hard to believe, especially considering that I just streamed for an hour and 40 minutes and was like on task for about 4 minutes of that. Ooh, look, somebody gave me a green beauty mark. Who did that? Was it me? It's harder to make the giant glowing spheres now with the smaller orbs. I think I have something in my tooth. Don't look in there. I think I have something in my teeth. Gross. Okay. Yes. Thank you everyone for stopping by. We'll make some modes, whatever. We'll figure this out. Yeah, right. Higher DPI with the smaller dots. Okay. Really, I'm done. I gotta go. Awesome. Thank you so much. We will talk soon. Goodbye.